This Go Bowling at the Glen Betting Picks 2025 edition of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to a $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code RACE SGPN.
Driver, start your engine!
Strap in and pull those belts up tight as the Sports Gambling Podcast Network presents the NASCAR Gambling Podcast.
I'm just gonna put my foot on the floor and I'm not lifting till I see God or a checkered flag.
My man.
With all the news and the best bets for your NASCAR weekend.
We want to thank you tonight for these mighty machines that you brought before us. Thank you for the Dodges and the Toyotas. Thank you for the Fords. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa. In Jesus' name, boogity, boogity, boogity.
Now, here are your hosts, Rod Villagomez and Cody Zeeb.
Welcome in to another episode of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. He's Cody Zeeb. I'm Rod Villagomez. We say goodbye to ovals. We barely knew ye because we missed ourselves some road course racing. Cody, how about it? How about we go road course racing for what feels like forever ago that we were in Sonoma?
Yeah, it feels like we've had a lot of road course races recently, but there's only two left on the schedule, and one could argue maybe only one, really. I mean, does the Roval count as a road course? I know you think that it's only half a road course, which I guess technically it is only half a road course, right? But yeah, one more road course for the road before we head towards the playoffs here.
Look, when half of the name is row and the other half is vol, then yeah, it's half a road course, half an oval. It most certainly is. But yeah, so we come off of a very exciting weekend, and dare I say, Cody, probably one of the best what we've had on the show as far as both races, Xfinity and Cup. I know we've done a lot of great things over the course of our time here, but I feel like this last weekend was probably one of our best.
Depending on who you ask. But yeah, it was a really good week. Boji Joe, of course, reminding me here early in the chat that the Denny Hamlin top 5 didn't go so well, but a lot of the other bets did. You know, the Chase Briscoe car lift was 2 drops of fuel away from hitting the entire thing, which would have been beautiful. I got some more thoughts on him this week. But yeah, it was, you know, you had William Byron as the outright. And we hit quite a few things overall. So it was a really tough year this year, you know, to start. It was out of the gates. Things were really rough, but last couple of weeks, they've definitely been looking up a little bit more, and we're in playoff form, if you will, Rod.
Absolutely heading toward the playoffs with fantastic momentum. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Chat's already blowing up. Holy cow. Watkins Glen brings everybody out. Marcus saying hello. You definitely hit on Boji Joe talking about Denny's top 5 at 125, but love him at 12-1 this week and 75-1 to win. Wow. We'll talk about that.
We need to have a conversation.
Marcus wants to know who the pick is to win at the Glen. We already know his pick. It is definitely going to be Christopher Bell. He predicts that he's going to win the truck and the Cup races at Watkins Glen because...
Holy, 2 things real quick. The truck series this week is fucking loaded with Cup guys, and Xfinity is too. It's going to be, tune in tomorrow for that show. We've got some crazy stuff to talk about because yeah, they're loading the F up on guys going down. Last chance for Cup guys to run in the trucks because their regular season finale is next week. And yeah, it's gonna be pretty crazy.
Indeed. John checking in saying he'll take Kyle Larson. JDK, obviously, Bell laughing at that. Ash checking in saying, evening lads, how good was the racing at Iowa? If we could less road races with an extra one each year at Iowa, that would probably be fun. Yeah, I mean, I might be okay with that.
Was the race in that? I don't know. It's one of those things where I'm torn on because I saw a lot of good racing, but also we saw a lot of, 7,000 lap tires and fuel that lasts for a billion years and not able to pass. It was a combo.
this is a conversation to be had in the off season. You and I, we need to break down what exactly is good racing and what constitutes a good race, because the Jeff Gluck poll
cash too. So
that's
helps.
I mean, again, it winning heals all wounds, right? So just checking in saying, good afternoon. TK chanting our favorite chants on road courses, SVG. SVG. Experts suck saying, got to do something to make it interesting. What could that be? Piranhas. Throw piranhas in the dash or in the thing with them and make them all, cry out in pain. But yeah, so great racing in Iowa, but we'll talk about all of that stuff. I want to remind you before we do, though, the Sports Gambling Podcast is back with their 32 NFL team previews. They're also bringing back the phrase that pays. Each episode, they're going to give out one word of a 32-word phrase. Submit that phrase for a chance to win a $1,000 Circa future. So Iowa, we'll look back really quick because it was a very profitable weekend, right? I hate for people that have left the Discord before such a victory lap of a weekend. And I do love, if you go to the Discord, please go to the Discord and vote on the new merch idea that's being tossed out. I'm not going to spoil it here, Cody. I want people to go to the Discord and sg.pn/Discord, vote on that new merch idea. I love it.
Some might say the Discord's a more welcoming place these days, Rob. Who knows? But yes, go check out the wonderful merch idea over there.
Indeed. Anyways, Dover, our Iowa, fantastic, but we're looking ahead now to Watkins Glen, one of the OG road courses, right? We had Sonoma a few weeks ago. Now we go to Watkins Glen. Two OG tracks in the same month, or I guess not the same calendar month, but at least maybe the same month, right? The same 30-day period. I don't know if did they used to do that? I mean, I feel like they spread them out a lot more in the past.
Well, I mean, used to. Those were the only two, so I think they did kind of space them out before. Obviously we've had 6. We have 7 one year, I think. One of the first years we had Chicago, technically it made it 7. So they've been kind of bunched up more, but they are, it's been a lot more bunched up this year, it seems like, than I can recall, at least here in recent years, where really we've had 3 road/street courses over the last month and a half, and we've got another one coming up here. So been pretty crazy.
It is. Stephen Harvey, I threw that up there real quick. He wants more short tracks. I agree with him on that one. That's a lot of fun. Listen, to me, this has just been, I don't want to say like the greatest racing of all time, but I feel like it's actually, if you pay attention, and they've actually been showing more and more, I think, of the races around the track, which kind of makes it, because obviously you and I, Cody, we've been to races before. We know that the action is not always up front. The action is in the middle of the pack. The action is toward the rear sometimes. That's where like the racing is happening. It's not the fuel mileage racing that's happening at the front. But there's so much more to pay attention to than just the first driver up front. And I think broadcasts this season might be doing a little bit better. And I think they've been listening to people, or maybe that's just me paying more attention. I don't know. It just feels to me like I'm being able to pay attention to more of the battles on the track rather than just follow the leader.
Yeah, there's a lot of good racing, and this car produces a lot of good racing. They've got to figure out the leader thing, right? And the just massive advantage the leader has. Boji Joe saying, why is Xfinity so much better? And will anyone in NASCAR say it? I don't know what you mean by that. I mean, everywhere you turn and you look, everybody's talking about how Xfinity races better and the car races better. Denny talks about it. Dale talks about it. Bianchi and Gluck talk about it. Like everybody I listen to that's in NASCAR talks about it. So I think that I think they're working on it, right? I think that they've got to be, NASCAR listens to all these things and they understand the pulse, right? I'm sure that they are trying to figure some stuff out. How hard? Maybe they need to work a little harder, right? But overall, and you look back recently at what we've had, and this is kind of a rough stretch, right? Because we haven't had, Charlotte was one of the best races on the Gluck pole this year, right? And that was a great race, 1.5 miles. We've come to expect that. But then you had road courses, street courses, short tracks, all places where the car has not been as good. And the bad racing, like, yeah, all we've had lately is short tracks. So we've already known over the 3 years of this car, the short track package has sucked. And then for whatever reason, we decide to bring a harder tire instead of a softer tire. What I thought we were going the correct direction for a while there, getting softer and softer, but then we hardened the tire up. I didn't understand that, and this tire didn't wear hardly at all, right? A little wear in the first stage, but that was it. I don't know.
I don't either. And honestly, that's above my pay grade. All I do is yak about odds. I have zero input when it comes to making cars better. Hell, I barely know how my car is full of gas. Like that's
we need to sponsor the NASCAR gambling podcast, Lucky Dog Camera or something. Because James with the great point. Freddie said it on DBC. The best race on the track is usually for the Lucky Dog. Those guys are fucking going at it to stay. To get the chance to have their lap back. And we've seen a few times where that's worked out really well. I think Bubba was 2 laps down this past week and ends up with a 6th place finish after, fighting to get those laps back and taking those tires at the end. So tires did matter, just not up front. So, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. All right. So real quick, there's one news story that we're going to talk about right now that I know of anyways. And that has to do with the truck series.
There's a lot of news stories, but yeah.
Well,
that's kind of the big one.
Yeah.
Currently.
Cody, we know now that the 52 truck is going to be occupied for the rest of the season, and obviously we could talk about it tomorrow more in the truck series episode, but figure we'll bring it up now because it is part of the news that just broke. So 52 truck, Stuart Friesen got hurt.
Well, the whole thing's kind of interesting. So Friesen obviously gets hurt. Caden Honeycutt racing for Nice. He's 6th place in the points currently. Having a great season for Nice. He has apparently signed a deal with Toyota to become a Toyota driver next year. According to Dale Earnhardt Jr. and his speculation, he thinks that's for the 11 truck. I don't know where that came from. I don't know that he has information on that or if he's just speculating. I don't know. But anyways, so he signs this deal and Nice is like, fine, you're done, which is kind of weird because we see like that's how you didn't give him a contract for next year. And if it is for the 11 truck, hard to turn down the best truck in the series, right? And that was kind of Dale's point. But yeah, so he signs that deal, and Nice is like, all right, you're out the door, see you later, and fired him essentially. So they'd already announced Christopher Bell is going to run the 52 truck this week at Watkins Glen, so he will do that. But then Toyota's like, oh shit, we got this 52 car open. It's still racing. It's in the playoffs for the owners championship rather. Obviously, Stewart's not going to be able to come back and compete for the drivers' championship, but Honeycutt can still compete as long as he's able to drive a car this week, right, and keep up his streak. So he's going to be in a Young's Motorsports car truck this week, rather, and then he'll jump in that 52 truck starting next week at Richmond. So interesting developments and stuff, but Honeycutt, a guy I know we both really, really like, if he's going to be in a Tricon truck next year, oh, buddy, that's going to be really, really beautiful. So it'll be interesting to see how he does in the 52 the rest of this year as well.
Not just a Tricon truck, but the Tricon
yeah,
truck.
Potentially the. Yeah, if it is the Tricon truck, that would be pretty crazy.
I mean, that's obviously speculating that Corey Heim will probably end up being a full-time, I don't know. There's been talk of him being immediately going to Cup. There's let's go to Xfinity. I don't know.
I don't think there's no reason he goes to Xfinity at this point in time. It's Cup or back to trucks. Xfinity's probably not going to do anything for him. But no. Where does he go? That's all part of it, right? Is it a 2311 ride? Is it another legacy ride? Does somebody besides Toyota snap him up? Who knows? That's more. We'll find out eventually, but interesting stuff.
Indeed. Anything you want to talk about before we start getting to the racing?
I'd like to talk about the racing, Rob.
Well, then let's talk about the racing. We will do exactly that. But first, let me tell you about our friends over at Underdog. Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million to first place. There's no waiver wire. There's no argument about trades. Best Ball is the best way to play fantasy football. Underdog is also a great place to play Pick'em, where you can win up to 500 times your entry. I've been doing this DGen's only play of the day thing for the SGPN website. So if you go over there, check it out. I've been pulling out some random plays. I absolutely love this one. Spoiler alert, this one may make the play of the day on Friday, but it is the All-Pro Motocross Jet Lawrence in the R9 Ironman Raceway. This is happening Saturday. You can get in on this now, though. His finishing position, better or worse than 1.5? Obviously, that means, is he going to win? Well, Jesus Christ, when you look at this guy's stats, right, since May 24th of this year to July 12th, he went on a streak of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins in a row. Broke that streak on the 19th of July in Washogal with a second place finish in the motocross event there. But I'm taking the better then. Let's get him back on the top step of the podium. Plus, I love his name, Jet Lawrence. That sounds like a superhero name or some super spy name. But Jet Lawrence, better than 1.5 finishing position in the all motocross over there on Underdog Fantasy. You can get in on this action too by signing up with our promo code RACESGPN. You're going to get a special pick and a first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code RACESGPN. From our friends at Underdog to our friends over at MyBookie. We're brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every sport, including the MLB, WNBA, golf, and of course, football futures. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations. Easy deposit, lightning fast payout using cryptocurrency. My Ottawa Red Blacks picked up a win last week against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. I told you, I knew they were going to cover the spread. I just wish that I had been ballsy enough to say, go ahead and take the outright. This week, they're playing the Argos. Tougher matchup. They're 3-point underdogs. In this game, screw it. I'll take it. 3 points. Ottawa Red Blacks +3, -110 over on MyBookie. They're going to win 2 in a row. They're going to turn around and win the Grey Cup, and I'm going to be happy. You can head to mybookie.ag. Use promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. It's mybookie.ag. Promo code SGPN. So go, please. And you know I don't tend to promote myself all that much on this, but go to the Sports Gambling Podcast website. Click on the DGens only play of the day. The bosses are giving me a trial run on that one. So if it does well, then I can keep going. If not, then I'm relegated to the dog pound. So,
yeah, gotta say I love this. For as much as you give out just random ass shit on these ads, and you kind of made it your thing, right? You love the random stuff. Now you've turned it into a piece for Sports Gambling Podcast, and it comes out every day. I absolutely love it.
Hey, I tell you, yesterday I hit the Japanese baseball. I picked the teams to go over 6.5 runs, and they got me the hook. It was 7. So today I'm doing, what is it? It's the Asia Cup basketball tournament. So that's like a 1 a.m. thing for you guys on the East Coast. So if you want to pay attention and sweat it live, stay up till 1 a.m.
I love it. Absolutely. Love it.
All right, Cody. Well, then let's turn our attention to Watkins Glen, New York. I was pretty close to Watkins Glen, New York once upon a time, where we are going.
Rod, I know you like to give the towns their appropriate names. This track is not located in Watkins Glen. You know that, right?
But that's what it says.
Well, it's located in Dix, New York, according to my research.
Oh, well, Wikipedia lied to me then too, huh? All right.
I guess. Maybe I was looking at the wrong thing. I don't know, but,
delete
TIX, unincorporated town. Thank you very much. But that's what I saw. But anyways.
All right. Well, hold on. Now I'm going to have to look for that because it says in Schneider County, New York. Watkins Glen is blah, 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 located in Watkins Glen, New York. Yeah. I'm not seeing the Dix part of it. So
okay. Well, who knows?
I mean, I know my search history says a lot Dix, but I'm just, all right. So we are set for 90 laps around this 2.450 mile road course for 220.500 miles around the Watkins Glen International. Like I said, one of the OG road courses of the NASCAR circuit.
Yeah, it is. It's been, I'm reading right here, Rod. It's on Wikipedia. Nicknamed The Glen is an automobile track located in northeast United States, located in Dix, New York.
There it is.
Come on. Jeez, you're letting me down here, bro.
Not bad.
But it's been part of the NASCAR schedule on and off since 1957. That was the first time they came here. Then they took some years, it's kind of spotty, took some years off. But then basically came back here in 86, and I've been racing ever since, with the exception of 2020, of course. But yeah, it's one of the OG tracks. It's been on the circuit for a long time. NASCAR actually owns this road course. And it provides some good racing. Last year, insane race. Do not just look at last year's results and place your bets based off of that, because there was a lot to it. There was a massive wreck on the first lap of the race. They were halfway through the lap. Big wreck. Kyle Busch spins out. It took out Busch, Byron, Hamlin, Blaney, and most of those guys were all in the playoffs. This was a playoff race last year, which also affects things. So, yeah, and then I think we ended up in 2 overtimes maybe. And, of course, we had an epic finish, which this track's delivered a few times, with Chris Buescher and SVG door-to-door just going at it. SVG makes the little mistake, and Buescher beats him, gets the win. Now, of course, SVG part-time, still learning the car. That third colleague car, now he's full-time with Trackhouse in a better car. He's obviously won the last 3 road/street courses in a row. So, as you would expect, he is the heavy favorite this week. It's setting up to be pretty good. Connor Zilic somehow second on the odds board, Rod. I don't know if we'll talk about that at all today, but we should probably at some point. Very interesting.
Indeed. I think that's the only other real name of note, right? On the entry list, there's nobody else that's sneaking in on us other than the regulars and Connor Zilic.
Actually, we've got there is 40 cars entered into this one, so we do have a full field. JJ Yaley's back, 2009 F1 champion, of course, in the 44 car. Josh Bilicki in the 66. Our girl Catherine Legg, she's back in the number 78 car. And, of course, the aforementioned Connor Zilic is back in the 87 for Trackhouse Racing. It's a full field. They will all make the race. You don't have to worry about any of these, 15 open cars missing the race this week.
No, you do not. Yeah, every open car from 2311 and Front Row Motorsports. All right, well then, I am ready, if you are ready, to start laying out our betting cards, because if you haven't been tailing us the last couple of weeks, it's at your own detriment. But let's hope for another good week here, Cody.
We're going to try and keep it up. The Expert Suck says, somebody convinced me past performance matters. NASCAR definitely has the most random shit happen. It does and it doesn't. I mean, it's a combination of both, and that's what makes it tricky, I think, in a way. And that's why you get the odds that you get a lot of the time, is because past performance does matter. And that's sort of shifted, in this next-gen era since 2022. Things are a lot different than they were previous to 2022. It was a lot easier. Things are much more level playing field now, all that kind of stuff, which is what NASCAR wants. But there is certainly things you can go where performance matters. So, all right, Rod, I'm going to hit the head-to-head market pretty hard this week. I found quite a few that I like. I'm going to kick it off with Zane Smith over Carson Hocevar. You can get this one at plus 145 over in DraftKings. This is an interesting matchup for a couple of reasons. First of all, anytime you get somebody at a number like plus 145, you're like, okay, let's look into this, because that's pretty big for a head-to-head, right? A lot of head-to-heads are minus 110, minus 120. I'm going to give out a minus 130. There's an honorable mention I'll mention, and a few that's minus 200 that I sort of like. But we're going to start with Carson Hocevar. It's a road course, and we just saw this at Sonoma a couple of weeks ago. This is your chance. If you're mad at Carson Hocevar, checks notes. That's everybody. Everybody's mad at him. This is your chance. It's so easy to wreck somebody on purpose without making it egregious on a road course. And we saw it with Josh Berry a couple of weeks ago at Sonoma. He took some other shots. Nobody's going to cut him a break. They're going to race him harder. And all it takes is one little spin at the end of this, and doesn't matter where you're running all day. If you look back at the results last year, he finished third here. Great, cool. That's all fun and dandy. But Zane Smith actually finished in fifth. So he was right there hanging with them at the end anyways. So not too over worried about that. But plus 145. And if you look at what have you done for me lately at road courses, well, that's actually better in Zane Smith's category. So that's where I think they're taking, Hocevar has all this speed every week, but they're not really looking at it, because you go back to Sonoma and it's not been impressive. 27th for Zane Smith, but better than 32nd for Carson Hocevar, right? Get spun out. Chicago, if you'd like to use it, 14th for Zane, 35th for Carson. Mexico, 35th for Zane Smith, but Carson Hocevar only got him by one spot. He was 34th. So it's not like he was much better. Now, Coda was Hocevar 13th to Zane Smith's 29th place. So, technically 2 for 2 on the 4 road course, street courses we've been to this year, but really close on the 2 where Zane got him, or where Hocevar got him. And people are a lot more mad at Hocevar now than they were previously. You go back to last year, 19th of the Roval for Zane, good run. Hocevar was 12th, so a little bit better. 5th and 3rd here, as I mentioned. Sonoma, they were close, 16th and 17th in favor of Zane. And Coda last year, 19th and 20th, also in favor of Zane. So I just think that number shouldn't be as big as it is. You go back over the last couple of races, they both have some bad runs. They both have some decent runs. Not really a clear, one guy's been better than the other, but that's why is it plus 145? This seems to be a in name only type of bet where it's like, Hocevar's had all this speed and he's looked so good and he's been fast. Yeah, but he's not getting you reliable finishes because he does overstep a lot because he's trying to hone that in, right? He's got all the talent in the world. And Zane Smith, by the way, I think we're getting him in the Truck Series this week as well. He'll be a name to note, but he was a very, very good road course racer in the Truck Series. Kind of dominated road courses for a while in that series. So like him, plus 145 over Carson Hocevar. And then give me William Byron. I'm back on the Byron train. Look, he won. He got me back on the train. So I'm going to take him over Kyle Larson, minus 110 over on ESPN. And you might say, Kyle Larson, one of the best road course racers in the series? You're going to fade him? Well, Rod, let's take a look here. 3 road courses this year that we've run on. If you toss out Chicago, right? 3 road courses. Let's play a game. What do you think Kyle Larson's average finish in the 3 road courses, Coda, Mexico, and Sonoma? What do you think his average finish is this year, Rod? One of the best race car drivers in the world, one of the best road course races in NASCAR. What would you guess that his finishing position is?
So as I'm looking at all of the top, so I actually wrote stuff down this time. So as I'm looking at the top 10, I'm going to say that it was probably in the 15 to 20 range is what I'm going to say.
15 to 20. Well, if you double 15 to 20 and you go to 34.3, you'll get Kyle Larson's average finishing position on road courses this year. 34.3. 35th at Sonoma, 36th at Mexico, 32nd at Coda. Some of those things weren't his fault. Some of the whatever, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I will toss in there. He finished 13th at Chicago. I don't consider that a road course, but I'm going to include the Chicago stats, his recent, current form, whatever. We've noted time and time again, not the same. And JDK, right on time, right? Captain Shook. He's not been the same since the Indy 500. We saw it again last week with a 28th place finish at Iowa. He's just not looking good right now. Now, his teammate, William Byron, on the other hand, 8th at Sonoma, 9th at Mexico, 2nd at Coda. I should have figured out the average spots he's beat him by, but it's a fucking lot. It's more than 25 average spots he's beating him by on all these road courses. Byron did finish 40th at Chicago. If you want to toss that asterisk in there, fine. If you go back to last year, results kind of definitely get mixed up a little bit more. They each had 2 road course wins last year. Larson won at the Roval and Sonoma, and then Byron won. No, Byron did not win 2. He won at Coda last year, but 3rd at the Roval, so really close to him there as well. But give me William Byron in this because I just think Larson's really struggled on the road courses this year. Byron's coming off of a win, coming off of a couple of good runs in a row, right? The summer thing was kind of there for a minute, but didn't really keep up. I think that you just – and look, with Larson, again, he can win any given week. He can also step on his dick, and he's been stepping on his dick more lately than he has previously. And until he stops, we've sort of actually made a decent amount of money kind of going against him here lately. So I'm going to continue to do so. So Zane over Hocevar, that's on DraftKings, plus 145. Byron over Larson, minus 110 on ESPN.
I feel like karma is caught up with Kyle Larson as far as that thumbs up at Indy. That's like half the time when I give a thumbs up to somebody that I'm driving and they, speed past me and I'm all, hey, good job, buddy, when I catch up to them and then I get stuck behind a red light. That's how that is for me. But as far as Hocevar is concerned, listen, you say he's trying to hone that in. He's not. But here's the thing with this persona, right? If you're going to do this, you better own it then. You better take this all the way down. Hit the Glen is Dick's, New York. Lots of stepping. Yeah, see? I mean, that's kind of true, too. Point, but yeah, with Hocevar, if you're going to do this, own it. Own it then and ride this because you're going to make yourself the villain. But I said it in the Discord. it's so tough to stay that way, though. It racks on you when everybody boos you every single time you walk out. So say what you will about, I don't care what anybody thinks. Yes, you do. And you're going to start caring when you start wrecking more and more race cars, and people don't want to put you on their team because you're not worth all of the extra nonsense that comes with putting you behind a vehicle. You could be the most talented driver in the world, but if your attitude sucks, you ain't sticking around. So that's all I'm saying.
Let's not turn this into a bashing Carson Hocevar session. Rob.
I got to do
not
something.
What the intention was.
I got to do something.
I don't think you can trust betting on him, and I think you can actually take to your advantage betting against him, especially at a big plus 145 in any head-to-head. We just saw it through 8 races of not 8, but however many races of the bracket challenge. Like, how many times did the big underdogs upset guys in random tracks, random things happen, right? So that alone, on top of, he's might as well go get a Target sponsorship for his bumper this weekend, because there's going to be a Target on it. And that's the facts. And people will take advantage of that if they get the opportunity.
Yep. People told me I had to stop talking about Ty Gibbs, but nobody's stopping me to talk about Carson Hocevar. So I absolutely love that. All right. I'm going to set up my first bet, and that is going to be Joseph Logano, the hardest guy in the garage to handicap. Over, though, Daniel Suarez. This is minus 115 over on Caesars. Joey Logano, overall in the next-gen era at Watkins Glen. Our friends over at iFantasy Race put together the Watkins Glen NASCAR next-gen average finishing heat chart. Joey Logano's 6th on that list with an average finish of 9.3 in the next-gen era. Daniel Suarez, not too far behind. He's in 11th, but a 13.3 average finish. So he's got him there, at least in the next-gen era. Finishes of 3rd, 10th, and 15th for Joey Logano. Daniel Suarez, 5th, 22nd, 13th. So 2 for 3 for Joey Logano in beating Daniel Suarez. But then, like Cody said, last year's race had some chicanery going on, and so you can't necessarily judge that. Who knows? Maybe Logano could have gotten Suarez there. As far as the heat chart, the speed rankings heat chart altogether, Joey Logano sits in 12th. Daniel Suarez sits in 15th in overall heat chart. And then total speed rankings heat chart for all the road courses. You got Joey Logano in 19th. You got Daniel Suarez in 21st. So in all measurable aspects of this, you got Joey Logano coming out ahead statistically over Daniel Suarez. How has it fared in the actual races? Well, in Sonoma, Joey got himself a 9th place finish. Daniel got himself a 14th place finish. Again, this is going to be a highly contested battle. That's why it's minus 115 either way. But I will say that you got to give Joey the edge on that one. And then how does it shape up at Chicago? Well, you can't really count it, you say, but that's all right. Then don't count it. Daniel Suarez got himself a 29th place finish, and then Joseph Logano got himself an 11th place finish. And then in Mexico earlier, it was Daniel Suarez beating Joey Logano only by a couple of positions. Daniel got a 19th, Joey got a 21st in Mexico. And then in Austin, Coda, to start out the season on road courses, Joey Logano, a gentleman's 24th place finish. However, Daniel Suarez crashed out and finished in 36th. So Daniel Suarez is 1-4 in beating Joey Logano in these road courses / street courses. And yeah, like I said, this is just a matter of Joey Logano being able to run these road courses a little bit better. And we know that Daniel Suarez is a good road course racer in and of his own right, but
is he?
Well, that's what they say, right? I mean, he won Sonoma.
You're wrong. He did, but if you look at his road courses as a whole,
well,
he's not that good.
No, that's what I'm saying. And so now for Joey Logano, like, this is a good opportunity for him to beat Daniel Suarez, and it doesn't have to be by a million miles, right? Just one spot, and you cash this bet.
Yeah, I love this. TK with a great point here in the chat. Suarez is in the 4th car this week as well. Mm-hmm. You don't think they're going to take resources and allocate them to Connor Zilic, the future. It's rumored, by the way, he'll be announced officially to the 99 ride, whether that stays the 99, but that car this week. I mean, Suarez is 1,000% in the 4th Trackhouse car this week. And Joey Logano, I peeped him for a top 10 this week, honestly, Rod. He's been really good at Watkins Glen, 15th, 10th, and 3rd in the 3 next-gen races here. He's previously won here back in 2015, and he's kind of always run good throughout his career. at this track in particular for not being what you really think of as a road course guy. It's so fun to go back and look at some of the guys who have won back in the like when we only had 2 road courses a year, nobody cared about road courses or worked that hard. So guys like Joey Logano have wins. Guys like Denny Hamlin have wins. Brad Keselowski and Marcos Ambrose went head-to-head. Keselowski, one of the, like, we notably make fun of how bad he is on road courses, almost won here at Watkins Glen. Like, back in the day, things a little different for sure. But it's always fun to go back and see things like that.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. And you're right. I mean, I guess Suarez is lucky that he didn't get honeycutted in this instance, where they were just like, all right, well, we already know you're not going to be in here next year, so we're just going to go ahead and let you go. Go find yourself a ride somewhere.
I'm going to guess probably a bigger buyout on his contract if you don't let it end.
Maybe just a little bit. All right, we will come back with more of our favorite bets for this Watkins Glen race. But first, let me tell you about our friends over at Circa Million and Circa Survivor, the world's greatest sports book. Circa Las Vegas is hosting the world's biggest pro football contest, Circa Million, Circa Survivor, and Circa Grandissimo, with over 21 million in guaranteed prizes. You can't call yourself a true DGen if you're not competing in the Circa football contest. So come hang out with SGPN at Circa Contest Weekend, August 21st through the 23rd for an amazing weekend, including live shows. And you guessed it, open bars, alcohol, and degeneracy. You got to love the combination. Plus, get yourself 15% off a stay at the Circa with promo code SGP15. Contest is open to everyone. Plus, you can sign up in Nevada and play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com. Use promo code SGP to get $50 off of your proxy fees. Rhythm continues to crush it with power trends, essentially the best of what their house model has to offer. These AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a high ROI. Think a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. Power trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. There's no touts, there's no noise, just clean data-backed bets. MLB power trends are crushing it. A lot of unders on batter hit props that are collectively hitting at a 70% rate. Fading players, definitely profitable and prosecutable. I don't want ever. WNBA power trends since the All-Star break, 27-16 on power trends with a 23.36 ROI. Absolutely cooking. Nice little bankroll builder for the NFL, which is right around the corner. Go download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. You know that we are going to be, speaking of WNBA, how about Skylar Diggins? We're talking points and assists for her. Well, let's see. We got the Rhythm is predicting 15.9 points and assist. She's averaging about 19.8. The current prop line is 20.5. She hits 25% of the under. So 79% or 75% on the over. So what is that telling you? I guess it's telling you to take the over on that one, right? I don't have to be a genius to try to decipher that. So you can go do your own research over on Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. There really is no reason to not be informed in your betting world with everything the SGPN gives you for free, Cody, for free.
Yeah, it's how much did you say it costs?
It's so much, Cody. It's so much that most people complain because they have to pay so much for winning picks.
Free.
I don't know.
Free is a pretty good deal. Don't get a lot of things for free these days, right?
Speaking of free, how about the next free pick that we've got to give out?
This is just honorable mention going back to the Carson Hocevar thing. You can get Chase Briscoe over Carson Hocevar on Bet365 at -200. I'm not going to give that out officially, but that head-to-head makes absolutely no fucking sense at all to me. So, if I was in a Bet365 state, I'd probably personally be playing that. Just going to throw that out there. So, all right, Rod, my next head-to-head, going to one of your other favorite drivers. We have enough Carson Hocevar talk already. Give me Tyrone Gibbs over Ross Chastain, -130 on ESPN. Talk about matchups that don't belong. What are we doing with it? How is this even a matchup right now? Is this what Ross Chastain do we think is going on here? If you watch the replay of last year's race, Ross Chastain looked really good here. He was strong. great, fun, exciting, but he's not anymore, right? He's not. He's had a horrible season, really, honestly, and he's not been great on road courses, really. And Ty Gibbs, on the other hand, started to pick up some momentum. A couple of rough weeks the last couple of weeks, but still beat Chastain in both of them, so it doesn't matter. But he's looked really good on road courses, in particular, finishing second at Chicago, possibly being the only car that could have beat SVG at Mexico. Bad pit call. They stay out late. They've addressed that problem, by the way. Got Chris Gabehart over on the box now, right? Essentially in the crew chiefing role. But 8 of the last 9 races this season, just anywhere, everywhere, 8 of the last 9, Gibbs has beat Chastain. So they're not even really that close here as of late. But you go back and you look at the road courses. 7th at Sonoma for Gibbs, another solid, nice run day. 24th for Chastain, not even in the conversation. You go to Chicago, 2nd for Gibbs, 10th for Chastain. Okay, that's fine, right? Mexico, 2nd best car, could have run with SVG, bad pit call, all this shit. 11th place finish, still beats Chastain, who finished in 16th. It was a rough day at Coda early in the season. Gibbs and crew were still trying to figure some stuff out, finished 34th there. But Chastain, who previously has won at Coda, only finished 12th. He didn't even look that good there. You think that Daniel Suarez is the 4th Trackhouse car this week? Who do you think is the 3rd Trackhouse car? You got SVG in the house. You got Connor Zilic in the house. Let's look at the odds board. SVG's number 1. Connor Zilic is number 2. Those guys are going to get the extra attention. They're going to get the extra love. Chastain's just another bum in the garage this week. I mean, honestly, if he's locked in the playoffs, locked in, quote unquote, actually, I got to start doing some math. Some of these guys are really locked in now because we're only down to 3 races, right? But, and a guy like Chastain, it's so hard to handicap who's going to race for points, who's not going to race for points. They would probably be in a good position to race for points. I think that they should probably race for points. So, but not factoring that in. But Ty Gibbs has been the Ty Gibbs that we in there. If you want to read some novels and entertaining conversation, go over to the Discord and scroll back through today's messages. But Ty Gibbs, once a great, amazing Connor Zilic of the Xfinity series back in his day, has really settled in once again on the road courses, and he's figuring it out. So I don't think this matchup's even close. I'm surprised these two guys are matched up. Why they're matched up, honestly, I don't even know. But give me Ty Gibbs over Ross Chastain at -130. You can find that one over on the ESPN.
Ty Gibbs is the driver of the 54 Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing, and his sponsor is Monster. He has done well in spots this season. Did I hit the contracted things that I'm supposed to say about him? Yeah. No, listen.
What's your next bet, Rod?
I do agree. I do agree with you on this bet. And I've given Gibbs his flowers when it comes to, telling it like it is. I have. I keep trying to tell people I only call it the way I see it, and when it's time to actually be nice, it's time to be nice. And yes, Gibbs on road courses should definitely. And I was going to put this one in this, but I didn't want to talk about Gibbs, so I'm glad you did. So there it is. And that's it. I agree with you on this one because I was going to put it in the doc, but I chose this one instead, which is AJ Allmendinger, my spirit driver, the guy I like to talk about on road course races. Top 10 at -115. I understand that AJ Allmendinger is a streaky driver. I understand that AJ Allmendinger comes with a lot of emotion on his sleeve, but lest we forget, AJ Allmendinger is still damn good at road courses. Yeah, he got a 30th in Austin. Completely understand that. Yeah, he got a 13th at Mexico City, but he bounced back for a 6th place in Chicago. I'm pissed off about the Sonoma finish for AJ Allmendinger, right? He started 5th and ended up in 18th, but that is not indicative of an AJ Allmendinger day. In fact, this season has not been indicative of an AJ Allmendinger season on road courses. There's a pretty good track for him to turn it around, and that is Watkins Glen, where he has actually been pretty damn good. He's been fast on this track. iFantasyRace.com gives us our Watkins Glen NASCAR Next Gen Speed Rankings heat chart. AJ Allmendinger, the 3rd fastest driver in Watkins Glen, 5.5 on the speed chart ranking. Roughs out to about a 12th place finish for AJ Allmendinger as far as average finishing, or not 12th place, but a 12th on the list of the average finishes with a 14th place average finish in the next gen era. 2nd, 4th, 36th last season. But when you see a 36, something really went down, right? Second, fourth, and 36. That's like when your kid brings home a report card and it's A, and F. Like, something went down to cause that F. You got to figure out what that was, right? So you throw that out and you're like, all right, well, you could turn this around. But AJ Allmendinger, 2 top 5 finishes in 3 races in the next gen era. And the only reason that he is 12th on the list is because you got guys like Shane Van Gisbergen that's got 1 second place finish, is thrown off the curve. Carson Hocevar and his stupid 3rd place finish, and then Zane Smith and his 5th place finish. The only one race that they have on this one. So in the drivers that have been full time, it goes Buescher, Bell, Logano, Gragson, Larson, Cindric, Priest, Suarez, and then AJ on that list. So again, he's fast on this track. He's a road course ace. A top 10 for him should not be minus 115.
Ace? Are we using the word ace still? Is this Xfinity series?
Listen, I still love
He's
AJ
not
Allmendinger.
He's not been good. I don't like this bet, Rod. I got to be honest with you. I had minus 115 for a guy who won top 10 this year. That might be his entire season, to be honest. I'd have to go look, but he's not been good on road courses this year when you expect him to be. Colleagues clearly not kept up their road course program. I love AJ, but other people have caught up to the advantage he seemed to have at one point. I know he's been really good at Watkins Glen, so maybe that's the glimmer of hope you can hold on to. And I think that I'm pretty sure he broke in this race last year, because you said 36 he finished last year. So I don't remember if he was caught up in that first lap accident or if he just broke. It might have been just breaking, but that's a problem with Colleague cars at times. So I don't know.
6 laps in, he had transmission issues.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And that's like, if it's not the transmission, it's the cool suit, or it's the power steering, or it's, just I minus 115. Other things I would rather have, I think, than the Dinger top 10, unfortunately.
Well, then do tell, what would you have other than the Dinger top 5? And don't worry, I'll be there to document when I'm actually
I hope you are. And yeah, AJ on a road course auto bet. Steve Letarte might have said that, but I don't know if he'll still agree, because I just don't think it's true anymore. It's clearly not been this week. Kylie wants to know if we ride with Chase Elliott top 10 this week. I think it's minus 150, minus 160. I saw if you want to do that, certainly go for it. But I like his top 5 at plus 250. Kylie, I think this is a great place to get in on him. Chase Elliott, look, he's not been as good in the next-gen cars on road courses. He's not been the same. He's not, actually, he's still been pretty good. He hasn't won in the next-gen era on road courses like he did 7 times in the old car, but he's still been good. He's coming off of a 3rd-place finish at Sonoma a couple of weeks ago. 16th at Chicago, so he was close, right? But street course, take that for what it is. 3rd place at Mexico City, so 2 for 2 on the last couple of road courses we've been. Rod, there was one other road course earlier this season. 4th place finish at Coda. So 3 true road courses we've been to this season. 3 for 3 in the top 5. You want to go to Charlotte Roval last year? I do. He finished 5th place there. Watkins Glen was 19th, but we documented how crazy that race was, playoff race, all the crazy stuff. I think he got damaged early in that race, whatever. I'm not overly worried about that. And if, some people are going to look, well, he finished 35th the year before that here at Watkins Glen. If you'll remember, that was the year he broke his leg. Watkins Glen was leading up to the playoffs. They threw a Hail Mary. Hey, maybe we don't have anywhere near enough gas, but maybe we can make it another 8 laps. He made it like half a lap, ran out of fuel, and that's why he finished so bad. So don't overlook that either, right? He got his first career win here on the state, actually, back in 2018. Rod, a little fun fact for you there. But you go back and you look at some of the other stuff. 16th at Coda last year, so it wasn't as good, but 4th place at Sonoma. So he's been solid, strong. You can go back farther and farther if you want to, but I don't need to. He's been strong. He's been solid. Oh, by the way, what's he been doing for you this season? He's been pretty fucking good just about every single week. Chase Elliott, top 5, plus 250. Talked Kylie into it, so I'm good. She says she's going to take the top 5 and the top 10. So you like that. Back to Ty Gibbs. You could bet AJ Allmendinger minus 115, or you could bet Ty Gibbs at even money, Rod. And Ty Gibbs has been getting it done. Let me get back to the paper notes here. 7th at Sonoma, 2nd at Chicago, 11th at Mexico, but had a 2nd place car. Again, pit mistake. They've corrected that mistake with basically a new crew chief, a better crew chief. So Ty Gibbs is hot right now. He's been running well. I've already talked a bunch about him in that Chastain head-to-head, but even money for a top 10, I'll take it. I love that on Tyrone this week. And then, Rod, long shot. Give me John Nemechek, 14-1 for a top 10. You go back and you look a couple of weeks ago, 28th at Sonoma, right? He's 14-1 for a reason. But 6th place at Mexico City. He was 15th at Chicago, if you want to take that into account. 22nd at Coda. In an overall sense, I'm not like saying he's super great at road courses, but the fact that we've seen the speed from that team lately, the fact that he did it at Mexico City not long ago, I think he ended up being the top finishing Toyota in that race, or the second best Toyota, something like that. But he's had some strong days. He's shown enough at road courses in the past. Again, not overly great finishes, but what have you done for me lately? He's been really good. Had that 6th place run at Mexico. That really stands out, right? They put together a good, strong day. They played the strategy right and comes home with a great run. And they've been running really good. 15th at Iowa, 12th at Indy, 15th at the street course, 6th at Pocono, 10th at Kansas. He's had 8th place at Texas. They've had a strong season in that Legacy Motor Club group. That's a guy that I want to back. Hey, maybe we get crazy chaos like we did here last year. He survives. Top 10 at 14-1. Definitely, could happen. So, Bojo Joe wants to know how my John Nemechek bet did last week. I'll have to go back, and I don't remember what did I bet on John Hunter last week. I can't remember.
I feel like it was a top 10.
It might have been
something.
It was
top
probably
Toyota,
top
maybe.
10 or top Toyota, but it was probably a long shot. I'm going to guess, based on your question, he didn't cash, and he did not. The way he finished 15th, though. So I don't know. Well, now I'm curious. What was the bet, Ron?
I'd have to look it up, but you can do that while I give out my next bet.
I'm looking it up right now, and I didn't have a bet on him last week. So
yeah, I was like, I didn't think you did, unless you gave it out in the pre-race show.
Okay, yeah, I might have. I did. Hey, great reason to jump on the YouTube. I had a little extra time on Sunday, Rod, sitting around the house, and jumped on for an hour, answered questions pre-race. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for everybody who tuned in and asked the questions. It was a ton of fun on Sunday. So if you're subscribed to the YouTube, you never know when we might jump on and recap a race or preview a race or who knows, whatever else.
Indeed. Yeah. I'll make sure that I'm available the next time to hop on with you as well. All right. Look, Dinger top 10, you said you don't like. How about Busch top 10? Plus 125 over on ESPN. Let's take a look back at some of the road success for young Kyle F. Pending Busch on road course races. Kyle Busch, 10th place at the Toyota Save Mart 350 in Sonoma just recently. And that was a run from 17th, too. He started 17th to finish 10th, a track that he's been pretty damn good at in his career. Kyle Busch, a 5th place finish at the Chicago street race. Kyle Busch did not get it done in Mexico. He got 6 laps in before he was crashed out. He was not Viva la Mexicoing in that particular day. However, a 5th place for him at Austin, Texas in Coda. So here's the thing with Busch. He's good at road courses, and we know this in his career. And we know that he's been one of the guys that you could turn to almost week in and week out to get it done. But the problem is that he's just fallen on such hard times lately, but he seems to peek his head out this season when it comes to these road courses. And as of late has not actually looked half bad. I say that with all the tongue in cheek that you can get, but Kyle Busch seems to be on a little bit of an upswing, as it were, pertaining to like the earlier part of the season where he was just trash. Last couple races, though, haven't been good for him. 20th in Iowa, 25th at Indy, but 11th at Dover, 10th at Sonoma, 5th at Chicago. He did get an 8th place at Michigan earlier in the season, so, before that crash at Mexico. 20th at Pocono, 21st in Atlanta. It's been a roller coaster for him, but like I said, with these road courses, this seems to be where he kind of comes out of the woodwork, and at least a top 10, right? I'm not going so far as to say that I think he's a top 5 car this week, even though he has been in some of these road/street courses so far this season. But, plus 125 for a guy that's been in the top 10 for a majority of these races. I like the odds on that one. And we're just going to have to roll with them, right? We're going to have to roll with Kyle Busch until, well, I would say until he bucks us, but he's bucked us time and time again. And somebody made the point earlier.
He got an entire F removed from his name, Ron.
He sure did. But we had somebody in the chat earlier that said something about, Watkins Glen rewards the OG drivers in this one. And if you talk about overall how good he's been on this track, 13 top 10s in 19 starts, 7 top 5s, 2 wins. He went on a streak of top 10 finishes between 2015 and 2021 when he was a driver of the 18 car. And really, it was a string of top 10 finishes that was only broken up by a 40th place finish in 2014. So it was 9th, 7th, 1st, 4th, 8th, 3rd, 7th, 1st, then 40th. Then he got back on the wagon, 2nd, 6th, 7th, 3rd, 11th, and 4th. So, I mean, I'm rolling the dice on Kyle Busch to calm things down again on a road course and just get me a nice solid top 10 finish. That's all I need. And plus 125 is a good price for it.
Yeah, I was really hoping when the outrights came out that his number would be a lot bigger because I had him circled as a guy of, okay, when these top 10s come out, maybe the number will be bigger. They didn't make it big enough. He did run really good at Coda. I think he finished second place there, had a great run. So JDK pointing out that taking a look back is the only way to find anything good about Busch. That's pretty funny. Ash is tossing out a head-to-head Bowman over Busch at plus 160. Where the hell is that? Because I am very interested in that. And yeah, the host of our over Busch absolutely would not take that.
Oh, hell no.
Again, talked a couple of times over why you fade host of our this week. So definitely not in on that.
Although I will say
here.
that is on brand for Iceberg Suck, right? Because he's
it is.
We just
because
they want to go against us.
It's all in the name, right? So there you go. Eric was talking about Fords where he finds value at road courses. Loves the Blaney Priest top 10s plus 330. Shout out to Priest top 10. I did look at that. I didn't make the card, but I don't mind that one at all. He says Blaney's average finish the last 10 races he's finished at road courses 11.8. So something to take note there. I'm going to go to the Ford market where I like Christopher Buescher to be the top finishing Ford at plus 140. He's the favorite, but as we look at this group, every time we come to road courses, it's not a very heavy good roads, really. You've got Chris Buescher at the top of the board. Austin Cindric can be okay. Ryan Blaney, when he finishes, it was part of the note in there, can be decent, right? We talked about Joey Logano being okay on this track, but in an overall sense, this is a weaker group. So, but Chris Buescher, amazing at road courses. Rod, by the way, outdoor SVG to win this race just last year. Coming off a 16th at Sonoma. That was kind of one of his tougher road course races recently. 18th at Chicago, but 10th place at Mexico City, 7th at Coda, 17th at the Roval last year, but 1st at Watkins Glen, 3rd at Sonoma, 8th at Coda, 7th at the Charlotte Roval, 7th at Watkins Glen, 11th at the Indy Road Course, 10th at Chicago, 4th at Sonoma, 8th at Coda, 6th at the Roval, 9th at Watkins Glen, 10th at the Indy Road Course, 6th at Road America, 2nd at Sonoma. That's Coda was the 21st, but okay, that's all next gen stuff I just read off to you. Mostly top 10 finishes. Buescher is going to finish well. And now TK pointing out that, would he take stage points? Certainly he could. I'd be pretty concerned if I was Buescher that points might not get you in at this point in time. With Richmond and Daytona coming up and this weekend potentially, I don't know. And then Brian pointed out that Buescher hasn't been very fast on road courses. He's not been what we saw last year at Watkins Glen, but still, even if he's not been fast, 16th at Sonoma, you'd like better for the top Ford, right? But 10th at Mexico, 7th at Dakota, he's still getting his consistent finishes. You could also, his top 10, I think, was minus 120 maybe or something. I think it was up to minus 130. It kept getting bet up a little bit. So that I had considered that, but I think just taking the top Ford at plus 140 is the way to go. I don't think that the Ford market is strong when it comes to the road courses. And Buescher just shows up, does his thing. He's a defending race winner here. And we've seen him do well just time and time again. And you can count on him to be in the mix at the end. So, he's racing Priest this weekend knowing SVG is going to kick everybody's ass. I get that. But that's why you don't have to worry about SVG with this, right? It's top finishing Ford. That's all he has to do. You just have to beat his teammates and a couple other guys. So give me Chris Buescher, top Ford at plus 140.
Yes, that is Chris Buescher is a driver in the NASCAR. No, I'm just kidding. Listen, if anybody can get it done, I think, he can. He has the car to do it. He's got the skill to do it. We just got to see him show up and do it. It's a lot like AJ Allmendinger in the respect that the talent's there. They just have to put it together and consistently do it. This year hasn't been there, but maybe this track brings out the best in both of those drivers. So speaking of bringing out the best in a driver, how about Tyler Reddick? 14.7 average finish this season. Crashed out of Indy, 19th at Iowa, 12th at Dover. That open car, man. It's a wonder how he even puts together enough money to get in the race each and every week. Just kidding. However, I will say this. On road courses this season, Tyler Reddick has not been half bad. Hasn't been half good, but he hasn't been half bad. But I'm still taking him for a top 5, 3-1 over at ESPN. I mean, look, Tyler Reddick, when he finishes on road courses, he can finish well, right? In Chicago, he finished in 3rd place, did Tyler Reddick earlier this season. He also finished in 3rd place in Chicago, 6th place at Sonoma. So a couple of 3rd place finishes on these road/street courses. I'm sorry, 3rd at Chicago, 6th at Sonoma, 20th at Mexico. Rod, when you're clicking on tabs, make sure you click on the correct one. And then 3rd at Coda. I was right. Hi, my name is Rod. This is my first day hosting the NASCAR Gambling Podcast. Please bear with me as I learn how to handicap NASCAR. Anyway, started on the pole in Coda, finished 3rd, right? Ends up with a 3rd place finish in Chicago, 6th place at Sonoma. He's done it a few times, right? A couple of times, and he was one spot away from doing it again. So he has the capability, Cody. He has the car. He's got the ability to be one of the top road course drivers when he's on. But much like a lot of these drivers that we're talking about, they got to be on. And they've got to be able to do this. And I think 3-1 when he's finished 3rd place in 2 road course/street course races this season is a little bit obscene of a number for Tyler Reddick. I get it. His finishes have not all been there. Only 8 top 10s in 23 starts this season. Average start of 12th, average finish of 14th with a DNF. Only 5 top 5 finishes for the defending regular season champion. Like, it's tough, right? It's really tough. But Tyler Reddick can get it done on road courses, and all I'm asking him to do is finish in the top 5 like he's done a couple of times this season. And 3-1 is a good number for that.
I think the expert suck puts it pretty well. I'm done listening to that devil that whispers Reddick. I liked him last year when he was on a team that had chartered cars. He was really good then. But since I'm moving over to this unchartered team, it's nothing, man. You know how much I love Reddick. Like, I was screaming Reddick from the rooftops last year, preseason, and just all I was, oh my God, I was doing it this season too, Rod. I had some underdog plays. They had the season-long projection win totals. I was looking through. I was like, oh, I was right on that guy, right on this. Oh, this is looking good. This is looking good. And then I got to Tyler Reddick, higher than 3.5. And I said, well, we're just going to go ahead and count that as a loss because it's been a rough season. But I just can't with Mr. Reddick right now. But you know who I can with? Last week's car lift champion, Chase Briscoe. We're running it back. We cashed the top 10. We cashed the top 5. We cashed the top Toyota. We were this close to cashing 19-1 to win, and we're putting it all right back into the car lift again this week. Top 10 minus 120. Fuck yes, sign me up. Just like last week. Get this earlier rather than later. It was nowhere close to available later in the week. It was actually plus 120, I think. JDK could correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what he got it at when it opened. Down to minus 120 already. Get on this sooner rather than later. Top 5, you can get a plus 280. Top finishing Toyota at plus 325. And top Toyota is interesting. You just mentioned Tyler Reddick, but he's not done well lately. Christopher Bell, typically a guy you think you can rely on for top Toyota. He's not done well. Ty Gibbs actually scares me more than those two guys do. Denny Hamlin is Denny Hamlin, okay. But and then who else from Toyota? Like John Nemechek is a long shot, sure, certainly. But Chase Briscoe kind of stands out above these guys. You can get him over on BetMGM to win at 25-1. But Martin Truex Jr., first of all, very good at this track last year, had a great run in that 19 car. I think he started on the front row, won stage 1, had a fast car throughout the day. And Chase Briscoe in the 14 car finished in 6th place. So he had a nice run here as well. But you look at what he's done this year, 2nd place at Sonoma. So actually, let's go in reverse, right? Let's start at the beginning of the season. Things weren't quite clicking yet. figuring it out. 14th Dakota, respectable finish, right? Then they go to Mexico, 7th place. Sonoma a couple of weeks ago, he won the race. If you don't count SVG, who was on a different planet. But he had the best of the rest, right? And they even mentioned that, like, he had the fastest race car out there. It was just unfortunate that they were racing against a rocket ship, and that's what the case was. But he was great. And by the way, Sonoma, a place where Martin Truex was good. Now we're at Watkins Glen, where Martin Truex has been good. Dover, a place where he was good. He's been good. It's all translated so far. So 25-1 still on BetMGM. The numbers dropped a lot on some other books. I would get that again sooner rather than later, but worked out well for us last week. And, I know Denny Hamlin didn't have a great run last week. It sucks. We lost some money on the top 5. Fine. But, I think he's still the hottest driver in NASCAR right now. But Chase Briscoe is hot on his tails. He is very, very hot. He's on fire right now. And I'm going to keep riding it until that car lift falls and breaks on us, I guess, Rod.
I mean, yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So we'll go back to the Briscoe rule.
Ryan agrees too. So everybody, even the experts suck agrees. Is that a good thing? They're not supposed to agree with us, right?
Maybe you should probably not do that at all. Maybe we rescind the Briscoe car lift if the experts suck agree with us. No, I love it. All right.
And JDK too with the either way play over on 365 if you have that. He's advocating for that.
So okay, here's the thing. And I won't get too philosophical because obviously in the interest of time, I won't go too deep into this. But Briscoe is the antithesis of Carson Hocevar. Briscoe is the quiet professional that gets it done on the track and doesn't open his mouth and get himself in trouble, right? He's turning in good, solid finishes. He's doing his team well. He's not out there thumping his chest trying to make enemies. He's doing it on the track.
Other than from a betting aspect where it's been amazing for us.
For Briscoe?
How boring is that, Rod?
It's not boring. I love it. That's my favorite type of athlete.
It's really boring.
No, it's not boring.
Carson Hocevar much more exciting.
Oh my God!
Now when it comes to the betting, Chase Briscoe's been super exciting. So I love it. But
all right. Well, so we talked about Denny Hamlin, and this is the way to get in on him. My next bet, and that is the winning car number. Worked out well for us last week because we definitely knew. At least I had circled in what car I thought was going to win. But here's the thing. And I'll talk about the guy that we all haven't talked about yet in a second. I have one more box to fill in. However, I will say this. This is how you hedge against that. I'm going to take the winning car number under 54.5 minus 105. This is the line in which you get everybody essentially except SVG, right? Ty Gibbs is the line. This is the Ty Gibbs line. So everybody from Ty Gibbs down, you get. The only drivers on the other side of this that could possibly scare you is maybe Ryan Preece, maybe Michael McDowell, maybe Carson Hocevar, Connor Zilic, and SVG. We already talked about Daniel Suarez not necessarily being a factor. So if you want, you do this breakup unit thing where you put all a quarter of a unit on each one of the guys above this, and then just bet the under 54.5 and let the chips fall where they may. Because again, the only people on the other side of this are the race favorites and one other guy that's probably going to get punted before the first lap is even finished. So Michael McDowell and Josh Bilicki, if Josh Bilicki burns you, then we quit NASCAR altogether. We become the motocross gambling podcast and just quit altogether. But I'm not going to read you off everybody that's underneath this because it's everybody else, right? And this is a way for you to get guys like Byron, guys like Larson. If you don't really truly feel that he can get it done, and he does, well, then you're happy because you still cash this bet, right? It's the AJ Allmendingers of the world. It's the, Boji, I'm telling you, believe me, I'm getting to the other side of this. Don't worry about it. The under is only to hedge you in case nonsense happens and, one of those 4 cars on the other side of it doesn't come through for you, right? This is an everybody else bet. This is almost like SVG against the field type of a bet in F1, right? Where it's like Max Verstappen and the field. This is essentially SVG and the field is how they're playing it. So I love that, and I'm going to take it. Minus 105 is not a lot of juice to pay for an entire field against 1 or 2 cars.
Yeah, I mean, depends if you want to put Zilic in there or not, because he is technically second on the odds board. He should not be second in anybody's hearts for this race, but he might be for a few of you. Yeah, I don't know. I think, Rod, that as we go into our outrights here, I think that you should go first when it comes to outrights, because I'd like to comment on your pick here before I get into mine.
Okay, I like that. So two things real quick. Boji Joe saying this sounds like the sure thing in horse racing. I'm not saying it's a sure thing.
There's
I'm saying
no sure thing in NASCAR.
Because guess what? Nonsense equals NASCAR, and that's Expert Sucks coined that phrase. Okay, so Cody wants me to go first because SVG plus 140. Here's the case. And I know we continue to say, well, you can't bet that. You can't bet that because so many stupid things happen to people and you get taken out. But we're done. Yeah, because we absolutely know that SVG, you want to get burned by betting on him and him not winning, then you not betting on him and him winning. Because we've seen the dominance of SVG this year, right? And Brian says, as you've been saying, SVG and log out. Brian, I'm right there with you. Because I guarantee you right now that this is the situation in which you throw everything that you usually do on a week-to-week basis out the window, because we've seen him just dominate in a way that I don't know that we've seen that many drivers in the past come in and just whoop everyone's ass on road courses. And so, hold on, Cody. Go ahead. So the thing is that I know that we love long odds. We love to bet the big long shots, and we love to see them hit when they hit. But there's a point in time where you just have to say, this guy is going to win. Plus 140 is a generous number because they could Max Verstappen us and give us like minus 200. They could give us minus 150 for him to win this race, but they're not. They're saying that there's a little bit of hope that he doesn't win this race. And so we're going to go ahead and give you plus money. We'll let you double your money a little bit in this instance if he does win. Now, I guarantee you right now, this plus 140 on FanDuel is going to go away when he qualifies on the pole this weekend. It will evaporate quickly. And Brian, we saw it we saw it with our own eyes. We saw SVG in Sonoma. It's just, yeah, you're sorry, Boji, but you're wrong. He doesn't have the advantage here at the Glen. NASCAR's been here for decades. Okay, yes, they have, and that's great. But look what he's done. He's won 3 road/street courses in a row, including Sonoma, where NASCAR's been for decades, and it wasn't even close. He dog walked everyone. He finished second here last year in the 3rd Colleague car on a part-time basis when he was still figuring it out. Oh, by the way, he's got in the back of his mind what happened. And not only did he finish second here last year, he finished second here last year because he made a mistake in the closing laps. He missed a corner and Chris Buescher got around him. That will not happen again. He's in a much better car. He is in a much better place. This is SVG's race to lose. And you mentioned Max Verstappen. This reminds me of Max Verstappen. It got to a point where you just knew he was going to win every single week. That's the point we're at. This reminds me of Kyle Busch in the Trucks and Xfinity series years ago. He could come down for his 5 races. I would bet him at even money, minus 150, whatever the case was, because he would come out and it would be 5 for 5. You knew he was going to win. It didn't matter if he got speeding penalties. SVG in this race last year got completely fucked by his teammate Daniel Suarez getting stuck in the sand barrier when he was going to try and come pit. They had to fight back. He still moved back to the front. Is there ways that he could not win this race? Absolutely. Things go wrong. Accidents happen. Things break. Yes, but if they don't, he is going to be head and shoulders above everyone else. He is going to dog walk the field. He's going to kick everybody's ass. It's going to be his 4th win. We're going to be talking about all the records for the rookies, all this stuff. It's not even close. And at plus 140, you're getting a hell of a deal for, again, it's Briscoe made that reference. I had the best car besides the spaceship, rocket ship, whatever he called it, that we were racing. And that's what you're against. This is clearly SVG's week to win it all. So I fully endorse your pick. If you did not have SVG, I would have had SVG. And if you want to bet one single outright this week, and that's the plus 140 on SVG, do that. And if you lose, this is one of them, and I talked about this Sunday when I did that live show. If I lose on Denny Hamlin top 5 after he's done it 15 races in a fucking row, fine, you lose on it, whatever. I don't feel that bad about it. And we made it up in other places anyways. But
you can't feel bad betting on SVG this week because he will have, I 100% guarantee you, he will have the best car this weekend. And again, things can go wrong. I'm not guaranteeing he's going to win, but he will be the best, hands down.
Yeah, and honestly, I know that, like I said, we love to be, the world loves a contrarian take. The world loves hot takes. The world loves flashy shorts that make you look like you know what you're talking about when they hit and make you look like an idiot when they don't. But sometimes you just have to embrace the truth for what it is, right? And this is one of those instances where you just have to embrace the truth.
Yeah, and we've been the ones saying it's too small. Don't bet it. The number's not big enough. And he's proved us wrong, and now it's time. Like, we're to the point now where we saw it at Mexico, we saw it at Chicago, we saw it at Sonoma. He's overcome things. And it's just not even close. I mean, it looks like he's stepping down from the top series into the lower series and just playing with these kids because that's what it looks like. So I don't think that SVG is not coming off a great week.
No, but we are.
Out twice at Iowa. Oh, we are. Okay. I like it. We'll go. I'm sure that's what Riley meant. So, and Brian, the Cup Garage, certainly happy that we have stage cautions. If not, SVG laps the field. You're going to see, I think, that we're getting down to crunch time, right? Points matter a lot right now. There's 3 races left. Playoff points matter a lot right now. You go into this race knowing you will not beat SVG. So a lot of people are going to points race because if we can't win this, we can't win this race because SVG is in it. Let's go win stages. Let's go get points. A lot of people are going to do that. Plus 140. I mean, it's, yeah. And Brian, you're hammering the point home. And I'm sure you'll talk about this on your podcast this week too, but it is SVG's world on road courses and we're living in it. So I fully endorse that. Of course, I already gave out Briscoe 25-1. If you want to take some other longer shots, sprinkle some insurance plays, right? If you're playing a plus 140 on an outright, it's multiple units, I would imagine. If you're doing how I'm going to do it, you take little 1 unit, fraction it out, however, on some insurance plays because shit can go wrong, right? Things can break, wrecks can happen, somebody spins them out in overtime. It's not impossible. But give me the Briscoe 25-1 that we already talked about. William Byron 16-1. Numbers way too big. Ty Gibbs is 22-1. And I've already talked about those guys, so I'm not going to go into it more. But those are the 3 that I would take as kind of the insurance plays right now.
Absolutely love it. All except for, you've got to stop with the Gibbs, Cody. I may have to ban you from giving Gibbs outright anymore.
OG Joe, KB did that in the trucks with stage breaks. And it doesn't, sure, Max Verstappen didn't have stage breaks, but it doesn't matter.
No.
It's plus 140. It doesn't, he's already proved, he's 3 in a row. He's shown us. It's SVG's to lose. Track position doesn't matter. He didn't have it last year and he overcame it. And if it comes down to saving fuel, I'm sure he can do it. I'm not worried about it. So yeah, it's all about SVG.
It is all about SVG. And unfortunately, if you don't like SVG, this is not the week for you. And you should probably just, maybe move on to next week when we do our next show and don't even worry about it. But all right, get out your pen and paper. Time to go over our bets for this Go Bowling at the Glen. From Watkins Glen. Cody started you off with Zane Smith over Carson Hocevar at plus 145. Added William Byron over Kyle Larson at minus 110. I gave you Joseph Logano over Daniel Suarez at minus 115. Cody gave you Tyrone Gibbs over Ross Chastain at minus 130 over on ESPN. I said Dinger, top 10, minus 115. Go grab that. Cody said that Chase Elliott would be a top 5 car at plus 250. Gibbs would be a top 10 car at even money. And John Hunter Nemechek, his long shot top 10 at 14-1. I said Kyle Busch find his way back into the top 10 plus 125. I said Cody said Christopher Buescher would be top 4 at plus 140. I said Tyler Reddick will be a top 5 car at 3-1 over on ESPN. Cody's riding the Briscoe car lift. It's a top 10 at minus 120, top 5 at plus 280, top Toyota at plus 325, to win at 25-1. I said the winning car number would be under 54.5 at minus 105 if you want to hedge against the man, SVG, at plus 140. William Byron and Ty Gibbs at 16-1 and 22-1 were Cody's insurance plays. JDK wants to know the one outright. Got to have some backup for chaos.
There was 4. SVG, Briscoe, Byron, and Gibbs.
But here's the thing. JDK, we just got done talking about all the people that have an opportunity. Denny Hamlin, people are hyping up in this chat. No way he's going to win this race, right?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense to really go too crazy on outrights because the chaos we think is going to happen is not going to happen to SVG. He does not get caught up in chaos. He is a guy that keeps himself out of the fracas and is able to find his way to victory lane. Like if he was like 1-1 and then 3 in a row got caught up in chaos, then I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe. But, dude, this guy is just
AKA, if he was Kyle Larson, you wouldn't feel so good about it.
Exactly, yeah.
But he's the state he's in right now. It's hard. I mean, there's some good value on the board, yes, and that's why I kind of like those 3 insurance plays. I mean, William Byron at 16-1 is amazing value if SVG's not in the field. But and things can go wrong. That's why you take the insurance plays. But it really, truly is an SVG week, and I think we just have to accept that.
That is a perfect place.
And if it doesn't happen, the fan and all of us is going to be excited about it because then it's going to open some other stuff up, right? So almost an emotional hedge where you bet against the Huskers and then you win either way. And I've been doing that for years, Rod.
Hey, I guarantee you, though, that if SVG does have troubles early on, live betting is going to be your best friend going into that.
Yeah, you better be in the Discord then, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord.
A lot of live betting stuff going on as well. All right. Well, then, Cody, let's...
One more thing, too.
Go.
Do not bet on Connor Zilic as the second favorite. That is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Rookies, unless they're 35-year-old men from supercars, don't come into the Cup Series and win. He's not winning this weekend. And he should not be plus 550. You're smoking if you take him with that number.
I understand that he did beat him.
There's nothing wrong with that, but
I understand that he beat him.
Xfinity is not Cup, though.
Exactly.
Don't get me started.
I know.
Xfinity is not Cup, bro.
You are preaching to the choir, my friend. I'm just saying, everybody take it away from that.
It's so fucking different.
It is. Speaking of Xfinity, we'll talk about that tomorrow as well as the Truck Series. So, Cody, let's let everybody get those numbers before they get hammered down because we know that this show moves lines. Where can they find you outside in the real world?
It's happened once or twice, Rod. You can find me over on the X at Husker_Z. You can find all my stuff over there. I got tons of it. Preseason NFL stuff coming out for this weekend. Went 3-0 in a Hall of Fame game, by the way. Undefeated this year in NFL betting, Rod. So I'm going to tout that as long as I possibly can. I still don't like Zilic at 1,000-1. I'm glad you got him there, JDK, if you feel good about it, but not worth it. Cup Series. It's different. But anyways, Xfinity and Truck tomorrow. Holy shit. That field is fucking loaded for both of these races. That's Ash was just saying that outrights are out. So interested to go check all that stuff out. But that's going to be 2 interesting races to break down because it's loaded fields big time. I'm excited for it. So see you guys tomorrow.
Indeed. I'm excited as well. Follow me on Twitter at RJ Villagomez. Link to about everything I got going on, whether it's here. Of course, check out my DGen's Only Play of the Day series now that is busting out. Got some Asia Cup basketball. I talked about some Japanese baseball, some esports. Pretty much everything you hear me do during the ad reads, I'm just dumping it into there now and having a good time doing it over there. Of course, check out the Back Row tomorrow night, actually. We will be live, Elliot and I, breaking down the Glen. So absolutely love you guys being here. The chat was hopping today, and we look forward to being back tomorrow with more of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast. So until then, let's go racing and let it ride.